We ain't found Sith.
Warning, the following podcast contains speculation, which may be confused with spoilers, although it may also contain spoilers. You have been warned.
Oh yeah, we're live. I forgot. Hey, welcome to We Ain't Found Sith, issue 96. I am your host. My name is Evan, and running a little late, but assuring me that he will be joining us in a little bit is my co-host Pedro. So obviously, if you're looking at the title of the video, you know that we're going to be talking about Shang Chi tonight. And that will be the main course of conversation. But I just wanted to touch a little bit on a couple of things here and there that Pedro is. I know he's not watching yet, which is what if? Man, I'm really enjoying this. I know they're trying to use this as a kind of like seeding, so that like when we get to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, we have like some idea of like what this multiverse contains of, and so things don't come like right out of the blue. But man, I hope they like really like don't feel like they need to use everything. Like I loved today's episode with the Marvel Zombies, and I don't feel like we don't need to see that in the Multiverse of Madness. But last week's episode with Doctor Strange, and what if it had been Christine that died? And I mean, that was just what a wonderfully done episode. I really enjoyed the hell out of that one. The one where, speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
That's it, bro.
There he is. I was taking some time. I was talking about what if, since I know that you're not watching that yet, because I know you're waiting for the whole thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been enjoying What If, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, look who it is.
It's happening.
Hey, you getting some ink done?
It's going.
What are you getting? Are you getting like a Rick and Morty portal? What is that?
No, it's gonna be like a wormhole galaxy looking thing.
Okay.
Nice.
With Pickle Rick coming out of it.
With Pickle Rick.
Oh man. Well, I was just talking about What If. And how I am enjoying it. How I hope they don't feel the need that they need to include everything into the MCU. I know you've been watching it. What are your quick thoughts while you're getting tattoos?
Yeah, it's I love it. The last episode was the saddest thing I've ever seen. The Doctor Strange one. Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't seen today's episode.
Was that?
You haven't seen today's episode.
Oh God, it gets sadder.
No, it's not. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a happy ending, but it's not a sad one. I mean, it's if you're not aware, today's episode was the Marvel Zombies episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah,
earmuffs, I guess.
No, I won't talk about it. We don't have to get into spoilers. I know Pedro's not going to watch till the whole thing's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
But yeah, man, I really I'm really enjoying this as just like as what it is. It's just a fun little series that that you get to just kind of watch and be entertained by. So I guess everybody's here. Shall we just jump into the main event and talk about Shang-Chi?
We can try. It's hard to talk right now.
Don't you also have like your NFL draft tonight? Your fantasy football draft?
About 9 minutes. I overbooked, I'll tell you. I thought the tattoo was tomorrow. See ya. Bye. Yeah. and then I was at the gym, and I get a text that says, "Hey, you coming?" And I'm like, "What? Like rock climbing? What's?" And then I look at the appointment, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's today!" And I literally ran.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's start off with you. Go ahead, just give us what were your thoughts on Shang Chi, and then we'll go ahead. We'll release you from your contractual obligation to appear on the show.
Okay. I loved it. I love the Stinger scene was super interesting. The first one with Bruce Banner. Did you notice he was Bruce and
Yeah.
he had the sling on, so we know the damage is permanent from the snap. And for some reason, he's in human form. That's kind of weird. And I know that's not. I mean, it's part of the movie, but it's not the main focus. But that was
This is
the
this is
most
exactly
interesting.
my theory on Marvel movies. Exactly my theory. Continue.
For those who are not familiar with Pedro's theory, it's that Marvel movies are like whatever, and then they get you with the after credit scene, and you're like get all hyped up for the next one.
Yep. And then the process continues. The movie's whatever, but the after credits scene is dope as fuck.
Yeah. All right. Other than the after credit scene, what else did you like about the movie, Bragg?
The last scene was pretty cool um, with the big dragon fight. You know, I mean, that whole thing was awesome. I liked Aquafina. She was really funny. I liked the martial arts scenes. They were really cool. The one on the bus was super really cool. What a way to intro the fact that this guy's a special, you know?
All right. Well, I mean, unless you've got like something else that you really feel like you want to let the people know.
Let the dude leave,
Well,
man.
I
He's in the
thought-
middle of getting tatted.
I thought his sister was badass too. I thought that story arc was kind of cool. What else? The Wong scene with Abomination, very interesting. It seemed like they were working together. I'm guessing that's setting up something with the Thunderbolts, maybe, because Abomination and
That's about very much a possibility.
yeah, something with. I'm surprised there wasn't another Julia Louis Dreyfus cameo.
I don't know. We'll see. All
Uh,
right.
and
Well,
the one thing I really wish they would have explained more was the yellow energy. It seems like it's from the I've Tao Lao, because like his mom had the yellow energy when she controlled the rings, but I'm not sure. They didn't really explain that too much.
I'm pretty sure it's just a visual cue that
Yeah.
one is one character and the other's the other.
yeah.
All right.
I don't
That's
think
pretty
it's
much.
that deep.
It's just what's the opposite of the cold blue? It's the warm yellow. I mean, it
Well,
is.
I like reading into things.
No, that was good. That's good, but
No, hey.
I'm pretty sure it's not as deep as you might hope.
It's one of those things where it's like when an artist does something and you're like, oh, and it means this and that, and then the guy just like, yeah, I just thought it looked cool, but I'm glad you took all of that out of it.
Well, it's funny because that's how my tattoo started. Like, oh, I wanted to mean this and that, and then I'm like, you know what? I just want it to look cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, a solid choice. All right. Well, sir, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule. Go do your draft, and we'll see you.
I can't believe you logged on. I'm just like, fuck you guys. I'm getting tired.
I'm a loyal bitch. I'm a loyal bitch.
Hey, man, you're working your way up to permanent co-host. I'm telling you.
That's it.
Thank you so much, man. And we'll definitely want to see you later when that thing's finished, so we can see what it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. When was the last time Pedro or you showed up when you were getting tattooed? How about that?
It's true.
Well, I don't have any tattoos. So.
That's exactly my point.
And I can't unveil my tattoo. It's on my penis. So
I mean,
Okay.
the only tattoos that I could get would be like Jello, because that way it
Jell-O?
just jiggles as I move around. Like,
Okay.
it's got to be something in that vein. But
All right.
thank you so much, sir, and we'll see you later.
All righty.
Later.
homeboy, legit. He
That's a
confirmed
true friend. That is a true
Can't
friend.
believe he even logged on.
Yeah.
He
But
confirmed my theory right there, right off the break. The only
yeah.
thing he remembered right off the break was the after credit.
Yeah. I will say that I for what it was, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie
Me too. I liked it, but you know why?
because it was Iron Fist.
Yep, exactly. That's why I liked it. it's
um
it's everything
so
Iron Fist could have been, but they didn't do it.
okay, so we had you kind of made that comment to me over the weekend, and
And mind
I've
you,
had I've had
I
some time to
know,
think about it.
mind you, I know nothing about Shang Chi, like the original comic. I didn't even know that existed. But
I know very little about Shang-Chi. I know that all the places that they mentioned are canon, but apparently Tao Lo is actually from Thor comics, not from Shang-Chi comics.
hmm
Tao Lo is, I guess, like almost like an Asgardian, like a version of Asgard, but it's for like Asian mythology.
yeah. Well, then it's not like Asgard at all.
Well, I mean, Asgard is, and the fact that it's Asgardian technology and all of that is like an allegory
Norse mythology.
for Norse mythology. But yeah, so the where was I going with that? So Talo is a real place, but we were talking about that you weren't really too sure that it was kind of a ripoff
No, I didn't.
of Iron
I
Fist.
didn't. I don't have any problem with. I'm just kind of like burned out on Marvel movies. I just don't care. But when I was watching it, all my friends wanted to go see it. That's why I went to go see it. And when I was watching, I'm like, fuck, man, this is what Iron Fist could have been. This is like, it's almost beat per beat. You know what I mean? Like exchange, like switch out his sister for his for the Iron Serpent, whatever. What's his bad guy's name? The Silver Serpent or something like that.
Hmm.
His brother from the alternate dimension. Anyway,
Right.
substitute that. It's the same exact storyline. He has to find a way to get back to this mythological, like a like mythology, I guess, realm. Same
Right.
shit. It's very
Well,
much the same shit. And then there's a dragon. They weren't shy to put in a dragon in here, but they were too shy to put it in Netflix. Fuck Netflix. They fucked
well, I
up.
mean, Netflix. First of all, Netflix budget is Netflix budget.
Yeah, but still.
These guys got Disney money, which with all the recent price hikes that Disney has done, they're rolling in it. But then, so we've got what do you call it?
The abomination scene surprised the fuck out of me
Yeah.
because they didn't show it except for after the movie came out. It's part of the trailer, so they're doing everything in their power to ruin all their movies before
Okay.
you go watch it.
So we were talking about you were talking about the whole Iron Fist connection, and it got me thinking. And there's the scene when she's telling them about the history, and she's talking about how they had cities, right? And that she doesn't know how many are left, and that she doesn't know, because apparently like the cities were destroyed. The only survivors have survived in like small villages. It is very possible that Tao Lo is like one village within this like other dimensional space that also contains is it Kunlun,
Kunlun,
where
yeah.
Iron Fist is from?
I always forget the name. It's Kunlun, I think.
Yeah. And it's very possible that because in this realm we have the lions and the foxes with the multiple tails and the horse dragons and all of that exist, all these creatures of Eastern mythology, there's possibly multiple dragons.
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying that the similarities of the storytelling it's so it felt Iron Fist. It felt like Iron Fist. But I'm happy about it because at least they didn't not gender swap, racial swap, I guess. Danny Rand, because they could have easily called this Iron Fist and just and done like a Chinese actor. But they didn't. Instead, they did,
Well,
canon. There's a guy named Chun. What's his name? Shang Chi. Shang Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, Shang-Chi is an Asian character, has always
Yeah.
been an Asian
Yeah, I
character.
know. But
Part of the whole thing of Iron Fist, and I know people like to call it the white savior, but it's not about that. It's about here's a guy who, stranger in a strange land, has to come home where he is still a stranger in a strange land,
yeah,
right? And you get that dynamic of like because he grows up in this ancient civilization where he's an outsider and is treated like an outsider and has to earn his position as the Iron Fist, only to then come home and still be an outsider because he's got no idea what's happened, in the United States in the last decades since he disappeared. So it's just this great, kind of way, and it's part of the trope. Like it is what it is. To make any kind of a swap on Danny Rand is just you're making a different character,
yeah.
you know. So it's one of those things where I'm glad Netflix kept it along those lines. Um, there are times when I really don't care about gender swapping or race swapping,
Hmm.
and then there are times where I'm like, but the race or the gender is part of the story, and changing that changes the story. But that being said, I am not aware of anything like that occurred with this movie, which is what we're talking about. Um, I like, hey, he's not the Mandarin, he's Wen Wu. They make fun, and speaking of the Mandarin, we get Ben Kingsley.
I love that.
Um, we get him making fun
Wait,
of.
wait, wait, wait. I didn't catch that. So he's not the Mandarin?
No, well, he is and he isn't. Um, he is the character that the Mandarin would have been, but without the stereotypical, racially insensitive name, right? You
So,
know, as
so he
as
just doesn't go by the Mandarin.
right as he says, it's like, they took an actor and they basically turned him into everything, took credit for everything that I had done, and named him after a chicken dish, you know. And then he says later, they're afraid of a fruit because they're referring to Mandarin the fruit. Um, which is, it's a great little way of them like kind of like poking fun at it. Um, Ben Kingsley I thought was great, and I loved Morris. Like I could totally see those toys flying off shelves. Although that shit is hilarious in that it's like a faceless thing,
It just looked like a
and
butt.
it did look like a butt.
It looked like two sides of the
It was
back
a
side of a
two-sided
dog.
corgi.
Yeah.
Um, I love the fact that he could understand it. Like, what happened to this guy while he was in captivity? That all of a sudden he learned how to communicate with a being from another, with another dimensional being.
So remind me, isn't the Mandarin in charge or becomes in charge of the hand in the
In the comics?
Yeah, I don't know enough of that whole arc.
Oh
I don't know
man,
anything about that
we're
stuff.
and we're also talking about what, like 60 years of continuity.
I don't know. I just because the way it looked like in the show in the movie, excuse me, is
Mhm.
that the Mandarin or the whatever the bad guy of the movie, he he could have been the leader of the hand. Like if they just wrote all they had to do was just connect the dots and it would have fit perfectly. You know what I mean? But
I mean,
I don't know if
really,
that's canon. So I mean, probably that's not why they
a
did it.
lot of it really depends on what trajectory they're going to take with the character. And like there's a lot of speculation going on right now. There's a scene where in the trailer for No Way Home, where Peter's like in what looks like an interrogation room, and there's a lot of speculation. They're like, oh, that he's in the room with Matt Murdock,
Yeah,
but we don't know. Are they going to
dude, that
introduce
whole
Daredevil into the story or not?
just a side note on the whole movie.
Yeah.
That that trailer was awesome, but I don't think it should have came out, man. Did we talk about this on the show yet?
I think not, because I think when we last recorded, there was no trailer yet, and in fact, there was a rumor that they were saying, like Kevin Feige was saying, like, well, we might not even release a trailer for this one.
Yeah, that's what I hope they did, but they didn't. They actually released it. They shouldn't have, man, because it was so good going. Like I would have been much happier going into it and then seeing Doc Ock for the
And not
first time.
knowing that he was going to be there.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But now I know he's in it, so now everything else is confirmed for me. So now Garfield is in it. Toby is in it. Everybody's in it, in my opinion. And if they're not, I'm going to be less upset because I already know Doc Ock and Goblin is in it.
Yeah,
and then there's they shouldn't have released it. It was a movie that had way too much hype behind it. That anything you show was going to ruin it. You know what I mean? But whatever, it's gonna be cool because you know how I feel about Toby's Spider-Man.
You know what I wonder though. So we know that from the trailer, Peter goes to Doctor Strange because he wants to see if there's any way he can reverse the people knowing his secret.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Spider-Man One More Day bargain with Mephisto.
Yeah. It happened like right after.
So Mephisto confirmed.
Dude, that's what I thought because that happened like literally right after Civil War, and the show is kind of. I mean, the movies.
Well, Spider-Man One More Day happens after Civil War, and his identity becomes public, only to later be revealed that it wasn't Peter that made the deal with Mephisto, it was Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
So plot twist, just in case they're thinking they're going to do the same thing. But it is one of these things where you're right. I mean, I feel like that would have been so much better if it happened and we didn't know it was coming.
Yep. I have a feeling that it was Sony that pushed it.
I don't doubt it.
I'm pretty sure it was Sony because Feige straight up said we're not releasing this trailer, and then it comes out like 2 days.
He doesn't own Sony. He's got
exactly. So I'm pretty sure this one was Sony. I can't even blame this on Disney.
Which I think it's just sometimes like when you've got a proven story runner like Kevin Feige, who's given you 10 years of movies that have made money and have made you profit and have broken box office records. When the guy tells you something, God damn it, listen to him. The guy's got a proven track record. I know this guy's going to make me money. I just need to let this guy do what he does.
To be fair, this is devil's advocate. To be fair, that movie's going to make money regardless. Nobody who saw that was like, fuck it, I don't need to watch the movie anymore. You're going to watch it still. It just would have been a bigger, it would have been more
I know you're going to watch it. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, why spoil something that's so cool?
Yeah.
Unless maybe there's something even cooler.
Yeah, I doubt it. That being shown, especially because that's what they're like. That's that's what it seems like. It's the premise of the whole movie. It's the multiverse because Doctor Strange literally said multiverse. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's the premise of the movie.
Well, let's think about it from a logical perspective. What could be cooler than Doc Ock?
Come on, man! Really? Nothing. We got it. That's the coolest.
I can only think of one thing.
What?
That would be cooler?
Madam Web.
Hugh Jackman.
Nah, they're not doing X-Men. Don't even get me hyped on that fucking shit, bro.
I mean,
I've gotten hyped too much. I've gotten hyped too much with this Disney Marvel bullshit.
Well, would you agree that would be cooler?
At this point, no, not really, because it's not the right place to do it.
Or maybe not even Hugh Jackman. Maybe just like a Professor X.
Nah, they missed the mark. I still think that the perfect place to do it was Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch should have been the one. If the X-Men becomes a thing because of Doctor Strange trying to make people forget about Spidey, it's a missed. I feel it's a missed opportunity. They fucked up.
Okay.
But they're doing it right because if it is what I'm thinking it is, where he's going to get all of his rogues gallery from the old movies. Because let's be real, these Spider-Man movies isn't really a Spider-Man movie. It's Iron Man Jr. movie because
Yeah.
Spider-Man doesn't have his bad guys.
So
He's
we're
just
talking about, well, we saw the pumpkin bomb.
yeah.
So Green Goblin. We've got
There's a
Doc
bunch of
Ock confirmed.
speculation. There's a bunch of speculation of like the scene with the electricity and the sand that it could be Sandman, and I'm not gonna. No, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, that's fine too.
Well, but
But
here's the
we
thing.
got the two big ones, so
I
it's all good.
don't mind Doc Ock. I would not mind if it was a Green Goblin from a different universe, and so we didn't get Willem Dafoe, but we got like a different Green Goblin. I would not mind if it was a Sandman from a different universe. I like the Jamie Foxx Electro. I'd be totally cool with that. That way you tie in.
I'm pretty
You
sure
tie
it's
into
gonna
those
be.
movies.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a nostalgia bomb. It's just gonna. But I don't think that they're gonna be the main focus. I think they're gonna be a cameo.
I don't think they're going to be the main focus either.
No, I think they're just gonna be a cameo. They're just gonna show up. But I think the main focus of that movie is them trying to find. It's going to be Spider-Verse. It's them trying to fix the timeline.
Yeah. Though I would totally love a just a like a heart to heart Tobey Maguire and this kid. Just kind of like if it's like he's an older Spider-Man, he's gone through everything that he's gone through and all of that. I would totally, obviously, Spider-Verse did it first, but
Yeah,
I totally wouldn't mind it.
yeah.
Especially,
You know
I
what?
love Tobey Maguire as an actor.
Me too. And I fucking loved his Spider-Man. I liked his Peter, not so much as Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't need Andrew Garfield in the movie.
I do. If they're gonna bring back Toby, I think they should bring back all of them and create the timeline, create the multiverse, and then you could do whatever you want. And that's the beauty of the multiverse. You could do whatever the fuck you want now.
But I wouldn't mind you fucking with it. Like, how
I mean-
great would it be if they bring back Andrew Garfield, but he's speaking in his real accent, which is his British accent, and he's Spider-Punk.
Spider-Punk is a black guy, so that doesn't work.
Oh, I wasn't. I've never seen Spider-Punk unmasked, so
Yeah, well, he's a black guy in a punk band.
cool.
Well, I'm actually, don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's the thing, but whatever.
When I think of punk music, I immediately go
Yeah, punk rock.
British punk.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that would.
Although it's a multiverse, so
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of this shit.
infinite universes, infinite
They can do
combinations.
literally whatever the fuck they want.
Taste
So
the rainbow.
yeah, man, I don't know that trailer. I'm happy that I saw that it's happening, but I would have been much happier to go in the movie and then all of a sudden my boy Doc Ock comes out. I would have lost my shit. You know what I mean? But
Okay, so
losing my shit ain't gonna happen.
So we've kind of flown off course here. So going back to Shang Chi, I love how the different fight scenes are kind of like they feel like different versions of Eastern cinema. Like
I didn't catch that. Yeah, you're right.
So
I
like
didn't catch
Raul brings up the fight on the train, and to me that feels very much like something like The Raid, right? Where it's like we've got the cameras kind of like moving along as the actors are moving along the screen and all of that.
it
We've
was
got
also a single shot, by the way. Not the whole fight scene.
right, but that shot,
specifically
that shot when he's like working his way down the bus.
Yeah.
But that feels like very much like the hallway fight scene in The Raid.
Yep. And also Daredevil. Every season they have one episode.
We've got the what do you call it? The fight scene between Wenwu and I forget the mom's name.
Oh yeah, that shit was Crouching Tiger.
Crouching Tiger
all over it. Yeah.
Very very much so. With like we get the fight scene that occurs like outside the building with like going up and down the scaffolding.
That felt like a Jackie Chan movie.
Exactly, the total Jackie Chan movie,
right?
Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah.
And especially, and I found out one of the stunt coordinators on the movie is a Jackie Chan stunt guy.
There you go. Makes sense.
So,
yeah,
I
didn't catch that, but now that you brought it up, yeah, you're totally right.
The improvising, the using one of the bad guys as a bridge to get from one side to the other,
Yep.
flipping one of the pieces of wood so it smacks the guys in the face. Like Like it's total Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
So we get sprinkled throughout this movie like all these different kinds of like, different types of wire work and fighting styles from different movies. Um, I love that the rings do what the rings do. You can launch them at people. You can use them to like just hit something really hard, but they don't do like everything. Like they use them to propel themselves by like using force off the ground. They use them to like soften their landing by doing the same thing. They throw them at people. He kind of whips them around like a whip because they stay kind of connected. Like, but like they don't shoot blast and they don't do, like he controls the rings and he shoots the rings like if it was a blast, but he's not like creating an energy blast out of just pure energy.
Are those rings a thing of the comics, or is this a movie?
So this is for the movie. I don't think there's anything in the comics that they're based off of.
Yeah, because I
I
did a little
think
bit of research on Shang Chi. He doesn't have any superpowers.
no.
He's just a fucking martial arts. But now with the rings, he's a superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because when you go and you read, because the 10 rings of the Mandarin, the original comics, are actual like rings for the fingers,
Yeah. I remember that.
and each one does something different. There's like a fire ring and an ice ring and a time
Yeah,
ring.
I remember that not through comics, but through video games.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Infinity Stones.
It feels very much like it's a light version of Infinity Stones, and there's 10 of them instead of 6.
Yeah.
But of course, they're not as powerful as the Infinity Stones. I like these better. Like as far as like the story's concerned, as far as the movie, this feels like I feel like the other rings, the comic book rings, would have been like overpowered.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if you want to make them grounded, I prefer the. Again, I don't ever read the comics, but in video games, I remember Mandarin being super skinny, scrawny looking guy,
Yeah.
but he's super like he
Well,
has
he's got the
all
power
magic.
he uses
Yeah,
the
he has
power of the
all
ring.
forms of magic, and it's hard to fucking even hit him.
Yeah.
But and this one, it was it goes back to one of my complaints about Marvel movies, punch him in the face type shit. But if you want to make a grounded superhero where he's not Superman, where you could just do anything he wants, yeah, that's how you do it. You make it like that.
What did you think of?
And also making them bracelets, way
Yeah.
more Asian than making them rings.
I also love that like we get like in his room, there's a Kung Fu Hustle poster,
Yes, there was.
and
Yes, there
one of the
was.
characters in Kung Fu Hustle has the iron rings that he wears around his wrists.
Yeah. No, that's like a monk training thing, or at least that's what I remember them being. Rings on your finger. I don't remember much in like
No, I don't think
Asian cinema. I don't really remember them wearing jewelry on their hands because they're punching.
remember that was a 1960s American
Right. I'm
American
just
writer.
saying. I'm just saying. I agree with you that the switch makes more sense because of that. I still think they could have kept some of the elemental powers that the rings could hold, because that's just
Well, look,
probably
we
not as
know.
strong from the. Well, again, all I know is the video game. So
Okay, so here we get this right. When Wu used the rings for his own personal gain, and as far as we know, he discovered that they had great power, and that's all he used them for, right? We know that the people of Ta Lo, their fighting style, there seems to be an elemental connection, right? Like they seem to be able to like basically be airbenders.
yeah, but that's only if they're in Ta Lo.
Well, she does it while she's like at the entrance to Ta Lo.
Right.
When
But
she's in the
once you
forest.
sever the connection to that city, you
Yeah.
lose it because she left the city and she lost it.
Right. But for all we know, because of his connection to Ta Lo, maybe there is some sort of like other things that this ring can do. I do love going back to the end credit scene. I do love the fact that, and the end credit scene could very easily have been before the credits. I mean, that could have been something.
Bro, I was at the theater, and there was some super. First off, I'm on the outside looking in now because I'm not as hyped for these movies anymore, but I used to be. And I was there was these two super Marvel fanboys sitting behind me, and they wouldn't shut the fuck up, bro. I had the entire time I was getting background information on everything that was on screen, and I was like, bro, I can't even complain because I used to do that. I can't even say anything because I was that guy for a while. But I didn't know anything about this movie, so I was good. I was learning a little bit while watching this movie.
There
Um,
you go.
but
Like watching while reading Wikipedia.
exactly. So the end credit scene I didn't think was even good. I didn't care for it at all, like 0%. My connection to those old characters are gone. Right now, the only thing I'm hyped for is Moon Knight. You know what I mean? I really like Shang Chi because it's Iron Fist, and it's literally that opening fight scene where you find out that he knows some shit is what I wish Iron Fist was. You can't touch that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wanted Iron Fist to be like, I don't want to fight you because I'm gonna whoop on all y'all. You know what I mean? And that's what he did inside that fucking bus. He just beat the shit out of everybody. They couldn't hit him. They couldn't do anything. Even the guy with the sword, he couldn't do shit. You know what I mean? That's
Well,
what I wanted.
look, man, there were some things that I very much enjoyed from that end credit scene. I loved
What
the
did you
fact that
like?
like
Yeah.
in a universe where we have been introduced to the Kree, the Skrull, we have there's we've introduced to Thanos and all of that. The fact that this thing has become a beacon and is sending out a signal somewhere, but nobody can place its origin. Even like even with Captain Marvel trying to like use like the Kree and Skrull databases to try to find it. Like I like that. Like, oh, I wonder if is it gonna be, you know, because I'm thinking like my mind's like, well, it could just be something for Eternals, and it could be somehow connected to like the
Probably
Eternals and the
Eternals.
Deviants and the Celestials, which is
Yeah,
what we know.
probably because it's the next movie.
But it could be something maybe further down the road. Um,
Doubtful.
maybe they're from the negative zone, and maybe
Nah.
this is like some sort of like beacon, and it's gonna summon Annihilus. And that would be like way down the road. Like, oh, remember like back in 2021 when we gave you the end credit scene for Shang-Chi and the beacon? Well, now's the payoff. Um,
But that's never happened. Let's be real.
right.
Every single end credit hints for the next movie. None of them hinted like further down. It was always the next one.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
love.
pretty sure you're right about it being something to do with Eternals because that's the next movie coming out.
I mean,
And
it's very possible.
yeah,
Um, I love the fact that his sister is, she's still the same person. Oh yeah, she's gonna go shut down my dad's operation. Bullshit. She went and she took over her dad's operation. And she's basically the same operation she had running in I think it was
is she,
Macau. They
is
said.
she canon? Is she part of the
I don't
comics?
know. I
I
don't
know
know. Like I
nothing
said, I don't
about
know
these
enough.
characters, bro.
I don't
I
know
don't know
enough
anything
about these
about these
characters
characters.
to.
Yeah,
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I love the fact that like she could be set up almost as like a rival to Sharon Carter, because we know Sharon Carter it was working out of um the other town, not because this she was in
Singapore.
Macau.
No,
Which one?
Singapore. I don't
Madripoor.
remember, man. I don't
Madripoor.
remember that show sucked. So
Madripoor.
sure, I don't
So I
remember.
like the fact that like we can kind of have this like almost like this rivalry, these two crime bosses that are going at it. Um, I would love like she's got her empire there in China. Sharon Carter's running her thing out of They've never actually said where Madripoor is. It's a fictional city. I imagine it being like in like the area of like southern Asia, like in the like Thailand, Vietnam area,
I
kind of.
imagined it was just Singapore. I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was Magic or whatever. I
Well,
thought
it's
it was
it's a
just single.
it's a
I
fictional
thought
city that doesn't exist. It's
yeah,
not.
yeah, but I thought they said Singapore. That's why I
No, no.
said Singapore.
And then maybe later you can set up like I would love to see them like set up like the Kingpin in New York, but like set them up like where it's like nobody fucking knows about the Kingpin. and it's just Daredevil just has a hunch, you know. Um, and just like I would love I love this idea of like, yeah, like in a world where superheroes exist, you need like a vast and like powerful criminal underworld in order to get away with shit. So like I would totally love to see that side. I think she's a perfect character to kind of bring us into that world.
Yeah, but I don't think she stands a chance now because she
I mean, we
fought
don't
her
know.
brother, and her brother was holding back, and they were pretty even. And now he has the rings. I don't think unless she gets some magic or whatever.
Well, I
But
don't mean like her versus like her brothers. I mean like her versus like these other criminal underworlds.
I got you.
You know. Um, I all I know is like I really enjoyed the movie. I came out of that movie feeling good. It's the first movie I'd seen in theaters in a while.
Didn't you
Um,
see? I think you saw
Black Widow.
Widow. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Black Widow. It was like 3 months ago.
Oh wow.
I mean,
I didn't
it's been a
notice it was
while,
so
man.
long ago. Yeah, yeah.
Like for somebody who used to go to the movies like pretty much every other week. Like I haven't been, and Black Widow was like the first movie back in theaters for like a year. So it's
Yeah.
but also Black Widow didn't feel the same. Like I went to see Black Widow in theaters. It was like me and three other people.
Just
Shang Chi was a pretty decent crowd.
was it? No, my
Yeah.
shit was empty.
No, my theater had. I went on a Sunday at 1 o'clock, and there was a decent
I
amount of people in
saw.
my theater.
I was hanging out with my boys. My boys were in town from Houston, and they wanted to just go watch movies on random Thursday night. And I was like, all right, let's go. And then that movie was playing, and then they decided to go see that shit.
They're still doing Thursday night premieres.
Guess so. 'Cause I saw that shit on a Thursday.
Because that used to be my thing. I used to love going to Thursday night premiere because you'd go see the movie at like 8 o'clock, and you saw it before all the spoilers hit the internet.
Yep, that's what happened with
Um,
me.
so I'm kind of glad movies are back. I don't think I'm gonna go see Venom in theaters.
I really liked that movie, man. It
I thought it
wasn't
was whatever. It
it
wasn't like
wasn't it wasn't great. Obviously, it's a fucking superhero movie, but they tried doing different shit. And you know me. I like when they thinking outside the box. You know what I mean? Like they made a
um,
bromance with the fucking symbiote. It was so ridiculous, but I loved it.
yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was. I am glad that I went and saw it. It is not, something that I don't regret spending the money, especially because, man, God bless my local AMC. It was like $11 with the Fandango fee and everything. You know,
Nice,
so
nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I like movies that try to do different shit. That movie had dragons in it, and fucking what are those things called? Food dogs. Those big lion things in front
mhm.
of houses. They had food dogs. They had dragons. They had they had phoenixes. Remember the phoenixes when they first get there?
Yeah,
Two phoenixes are flying.
or
That's the nine
whatever,
tails
or whatever
fox.
equivalent to a phoenix it is. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, well, we're gonna call it a phoenix because a burning fucking bird. So there you go.
Yeah.
But then you had this nine tails, and then you had so much cool shit. And I don't know what the fuck was that evil dirt dragon.
The Dragon Horse.
No, the evil dirt dragon that they've released.
Oh,
Also, I don't usually like when they change the motives of the villains to be more ethical, but this one worked. He was just trying to save his wife.
well, that's what makes him compelling, right?
Yeah.
Like, if he's evil
Yeah,
for
but
the sake of being,
some villains need to just be assholes.
well, it's
Not all of them need to be Thanos.
well,
As a matter of fact, Thanos in the comic books was just an asshole. He
yeah.
wanted to please his girlfriend.
Well, Thanos in the comic book is just like, I'm in love with death. How do I impress death? I'll kill half
Peace.
the universe.
There you go. Yeah,
Which why half the universe and not the whole thing? I don't know. It was what it was.
he needs more to just wreck, just
Yeah,
beat him up.
but I love, like, yeah, man. This is as most of the compelling stories from Marvel have been. The villain is the most compelling character. Here's a guy who he amassed all the power, he had all the wealth that he could ever need. He finds love, and it gets taken away from him because of the things that he did in his past. And what does he do? He fucking just goes right back to being the asshole that he was before he found love, and just killing all his enemies and wiping them out, because fuck you, you guys are never gonna, fuck me over again. And then the evil takes advantage of it. Like, oh, now you have a you have something capable of releasing me, and I now know how to exploit that in you. Because that thing could have called out to him at any time. But it wasn't until he had something worth, like, that he really wanted so badly that he'd give anything for it, that it took it, like, So I like that. But yeah, like like, and then the fact that, like, at the end he finds out, like, this thing betrayed me, like, it was, and he does what and he's like, I'm gonna save my son, and before I get killed, I'm gonna give my son the ring so that my son can.
Yeah, but I didn't like that he got killed.
I didn't like it either,
I
but
hate that they keep killing off
the most compelling villains.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know how you would do it in a movie, but they keep killing off these comic book villains to at a point we're not going to have anymore. You know what I mean? Like, we're just going
Well,
to
at
okay.
that
So
point,
what are they?
at that point, you reboot the universe and start it all over.
Yeah, I don't think I'm down for that one anymore, bro. I don't
Yeah,
think I'm down for another 10 years of watching comic book movies.
Look, man, it's gonna happen in our lifetime.
Yeah, but by
At
that time, I'm going to be
point,
completely tapped out.
At some point, the characters they start dragging out here are going to be like Z-list characters, and people are just going to be like, and then they'll be like, what we should do is bring back Iron Man in a brand new way. Like,
or there's a multiverse, you can just tell different stories. I'm just saying, I mean, we don't have to keep making storylines. But
it's the trend. It is what it is right now. I'm enjoying it for what it is. Eventually,
I mean, Batman kills fucking Joker in the 80s movie, the Tim Burton one. Like,
yeah,
no. And then
they never made another.
Heath Ledger dies in real life, so then we couldn't get another Joker.
Yeah.
So,
but like, you kill off Jack Nicholson's character, and like, you weren't going to bring Jack Nicholson back for a sequel. Like, yeah, you might as well kill off the character. It is what it is. At least gives like an end to that story. Anyways,
yeah, maybe not back then, but nowadays, if they made a Joker with Jack Nicholson, he will sign up for all of them because there's a lot of money to be made in these comic book movies.
Yeah, in today's day and age, obviously. But I did want to, like, we've been talking about this for a while now. I did want to kind of switch subjects and ask, did you watch Bad Batch?
No, I haven't. No, this week I saw Team America again because it's on Netflix. I saw Dave, that the Little Dicky show.
Okay.
Fucking phenomenal, really good show. I saw Shang Chi, and I don't really watch a lot of movies, man. It's just been that.
Okay.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch any of that stuff.
Bad Batch season 1 did come to an end.
Yeah.
It is a direct sequel to Clone Wars. It is. I think it's worth a watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
No, I definitely want to watch it. I just haven't had time to sit down for like 20 episodes.
I wanted to take advantage. We haven't done this in a while, and I'll be honest, man. I kind of just want to get through these because they've been just sitting here and we haven't touched them. I wanted to do some trading cards, man.
Do it. Let's do it.
So we're gonna start off. We got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
TMNT.
Secret of the Ooze.
So
good old wax pack. We gotta save Raph. I miss these cards, man. Back when cards were just like shots from a movie.
Yep.
But I believe this is the scene of Things Are Quiet, a little too quiet. It's Raph, a little too Raph.
What were you expecting? The Addams Family? No, it's part 3.
Meeting our heroes. We got Mikey, we got Leo. The other two are in the background, trapped in a net. the traditional pre-fight donut.
Dude, it's incredible how you still remember those lines. What does
Well,
he
it is written
say?
on the card too.
Oh, it does? Oh, I didn't see it.
Mmm. Nom nom. That's Razor, right?
Yeah,
Toka was the
Toka
turtle?
was the turtle, yeah.
Uh-oh. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go
One of the
ninja, go ninja.
fucking bangers, bro.
This one just says home sweet home. I think, if I recall, they were living at April's place in the beginning of that movie.
I don't remember.
This one just says the mutants neutralized. I think this is when they turned them back into their original forms and they go back to being a dog and a turtle. This was just funny. Just look at Mikey in the background.
Those animatronics were so fucking dope.
And then, so this one's like, it's just a Mikey card. But
Yeah.
then, like, if you look at the back of it, it's like you could tell this
Oh,
was
yeah.
like
You could
one of those like build
build the
like when you
poster.
put all the cards in the slots, like it makes an image. Okay, this next one, Pedro, I don't know about you, but this was a big part of my childhood. I'm not even going to show you the wrapper. I'm just going to open up the pack and we'll go right in.
Oh boy.
We got a little
Oh no,
Nitro
this is
pack.
American Gladiator. It's not even wrestling. No, that wasn't my jam. I liked Guts. Dude, you have it.
Joust.
It's so weird.
I think, was this Assault, I think? We had to like go through the course.
I don't know. I never watched that shit. But it's funny how like they just made wrestling again. That show is just wrestling all over again.
We've got the rings.
American Gladiator.
Oh man, freaking I remember this game. This game was a freaking killer. Where they had to like get the balls into like the canisters, but like the gladiators were like, blocking. The gladiators could like tackle you and shit. Like we've got the thing where they had to like hit the bullseye, and they had all the different kinds of like Nerf launchers, basically. And in the meantime, the gladiator would be like up at the top of the wall, like firing tennis balls at you.
Look at that image, bro. That guy was just wrecking you.
I don't remember this event. It's some sort of like, I mean, the guy's got a ball in his hand, but they're on bungee cords type of thing.
Dodgeball, maybe? I don't know.
And then this is that same one where they had to like put the balls in the canisters. But again, bro, like those gladiators, man, when they came for you, and
Correct.
This was like late 80s, early 90s. Those gladiators were on roids. Like the good shit too. The anabolic shoot you in the butt roids. And then finally, we'll go back to our wheelhouse, the things we know and love. Do a little DC Comics. Got a little Crisis on Infinite Earths action here. The Spectre versus the Anti-Monitor.
I thought that was Doom for a second, but then I saw those tidy whities. Doom doesn't rock that shit. You rock the skirt.
Shazam!
Oh, this is DC.
Yeah. Shazam, formerly known as Captain Marvel, would then be called Captain Marvel again before it be going back to the name Shazam again.
Make up your damn mind, boys.
Well, originally the character was Captain Marvel, and Shazam was the Wizard. And then in the 70s, when Marvel came up with Captain Marvel, because they were Marvel Comics, they were like, okay, well, in order to avoid confusion, we'll go back to calling him Shazam. Then eventually, like in the 80s and 90s, they were like, Captain Marvel from Marvel Comics is dead. And this guy was Captain Marvel first. We'll go back and we're going to call him Captain Marvel, and Shazam is the wizard. And then I guess like just because of marketing or whatever, and the movie was coming out, it was like, you know what? We're just going to go back to calling him Shazam again. I was like, make up your fucking minds.
Yeah, make up your mind.
The Brave and the Bold, number 34, Hawkman. Black Lightning.
That's racist.
Power Girl, although in a costume that I don't remember.
Power Girl. Power Girl had cleavage. Where's her cleavage here? That's
Well, I mean, she's got cleavage here too.
I can't
Just
make
the
it.
costume that she's wearing is not the costume I remember.
That's not my Power Girl.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, is that? Oh yeah, that's the curly haired one. That's my favorite Wonder Woman.
Yeah, these cards are 1991. So obviously based on late 80s versions. Golden Age Green Lantern. Alan Scott. Green Lantern's very famously weak against yellow.
Yep.
Do you know Alan Scott's weakness?
No.
Original Green Lantern was weak against wood.
No way, really?
Color yellow didn't have any effect on him, but things that were made of wood could penetrate his field. For a long time, kind of led to like a fan theory that like the weakness of the Green Lantern ring was a psychological one and not an actual one. And the reason that like all the Green Lantern Corps were weak against yellow was because the Guardians told them you were weak against yellow. You know, and the reason that Alan Scott didn't have that is because it wasn't he didn't know anything about that weakness. It was just what it was. It's a weird thing. Man, I love Green Lantern lore. I wish Raul was here. So he's the first Green Lantern, right? We get him in 1940. He finds basically he's on a train, and on the train there's a green lantern, and he notices that it starts to glow, and so he carves a ring out of a piece of the lantern. Years later, when we get like, you know, Crisis and all of that, the lantern was made out of a meteor that fell to Earth. The meteor is from the Green Lantern power battery on Oa. Like I love how like they go back later and like they find ways to connect things and all of that. If you were a 90s kid like I was, Pedro, you remember The Guardian.
Nope. I can't say I do.
This was like how do we do our version of Captain America?
Oh, that's what that was? Yeah, because each company did their they bid off of each other.
Oh, here we go. Classic villain. Captain Boomerang.
Did we talk about
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, that was our last episode.
Yeah. Homeboy got murked real quick in that movie.
The Creeper.
The Creeper. That guy just looks like Kang the what was his name? Not Kang the Conqueror. Spider-Man villain. What's his name?
He's a green Craven.
Craven.
Looks like.
Craven the hunter.
The Creeper. By day, he's crusading reporter Jack Ryder, but by night, he's the maniacal creeper. a quirky crime fighter whose horrifying appearance and savage, unpredictable spooks the guilty. Backed with extraordinary strength and stamina, the creeper's fearsome presence and chilling laughter strike fear in the hearts of heroes and villains alike. Um, Sonar. Look at this guy.
Like his jacket, bro. What a dope. And I love that vampire hairstyle, bro.
He's dressed like a pirate. He looks like Dracula, and his gun is like a tuning fork gun. And then Armageddon 2001, which was a DC storyline in which I believe it gets revealed that Hawk from Hawk and Dove goes into the future and becomes a villain, and all that. Later got retconned, it wasn't true, and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, we opened up 3 packs, and we're at an hour. That is going to end us for this evening. I did want to address something real quick, and if you guys are still with us, thank you. The last time we recorded, I said, man, what a great job our governor is doing. And it looks like we're going to come out of this financially a lot better than a lot of other states. And I'd like to say that I spoke way too soon. And man, like a week after I had said that comment, motherfucker just shoots himself in the mouth with like, we're going to find schools that make kids wear masks. And we're like, God damn it, bro. Like for a guy who was doing a good job and who had like moderate people like me kind of going like, hey man, you're doing a good job. I don't know if I'd vote for you, but I think you're doing a good job. What a way to like just turn around and make it just go like, what a fucking idiot you are. You know? Like I understand, like come out and say like, look, we don't want to make a law that forces people to wear masks. We think there's enough information out there that you should wear a mask because you know that you should wear a mask. And to make a law that says you should wear a mask, we feel is like a government overreach. A totally logical, a totally reasonable, you're not saying don't wear a mask, but you're saying like, look, we don't feel that as the government, it's our job to step in here and say, wear a fucking mask. We strongly urge you to wear a mask. We believe there's enough science out there and enough explanation out there that there is no downside to wearing a mask. But to make people have to wear a mask under penalty of legal recourse would be an overstep. I am totally with you on that. But to come out and say, like, we feel that, like, any school that makes their kids wear a mask, we're going to take away their government funding. Like, dude, like, that's just an idiotic thing to do. So I wanted to say that because I did. It sounded like last time we spoke that I was giving the man his props and I was saying, hey, what a good job you're doing. And he just turned around and took all that goodwill. And
it's all in context, bro. He did do a good job. We are financially stable. That shit's kind of fucked up, but you can't overlook the fact that he did help us out a lot. I didn't stop making money the entire time.
I feel like compared to California and New York, not a whole lot of statistics out there on Chicago. But I feel like when it comes to like major metropolitan cities, I feel like Miami is getting to be on that level. Like I think we're becoming a major metropolitan city. I feel like economically our economy is probably doing like I don't think we had as many like restaurants that shut down. I don't think we had as many services that shut down.
Nope. Also, I think we're getting Microsoft is building headquarters over here. Isn't that what's happening?
I don't know.
I think they are. I think they're building a headquarters in Miami, which would be
Where?
pretty good. I don't know.
Where the fucking Miami? Like, where are you going to fit a corporate headquarters for Microsoft in Miami?
Don't take my word for it. I saw this on Instagram. I don't know if it's true.
I'm just wondering because, man, we keep on filling in the swamp. I don't know how far we're going to go. Like, I'm surprised we haven't started seeing houses sinking at how fast we're putting them up in the swamps.
Keep going, bro. Keep going.
Anyways, sir, it was a pleasure speaking with you, as it always is.
Likewise.
And for those of you that stuck around this long, thank you so much. If you liked what you heard, if you liked just hanging out with us, go ahead and hit that like button, hit subscribe. And until next time, see you later, Sith heads.